Hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about stuff. I'm going to try my darndest to be as calm and level-headed as I can, as I always am in every video. I never freak out or go on rants. However, so one of the occurring themes on this channel has constantly been that there's not a lot of Bitcoin left, and we've had a plethora of discussions because people keep forgetting that there's not a lot of Bitcoin left. Can we all agree on that? Bitcoin is incredibly finite. There's not a lot of it. We know how much is being created per day. And even more so, we also know that companies and institutions are buying it every day. And you can't disagree with me, because even when we hear that there are outflows from the ETFs, I have to constantly make sure to remind people that before the ETFs existed, what did we have? Oh yeah, it was us. So normal people were always buying Bitcoin. Can we agree on that? Yeah, they were. Yeah, before January 11th, they were definitely scooping up all the BTC. That's how we got to $70,000 in 2021. Remember? Anyone remember? So the discussion has lightly changed, a little smidge, because now we're moving into something else entirely incredibly different. Since the launch of the Bitcoin ETFs, much to my annoyance and constant nuisance, see what I did there? It's news and nuisance. We heard that there were going to be Ethereum ETFs. Ethereum being the second largest coin, the most used chain on the planet. You know it. Thousands of coins on top of it. It's super popular. We heard that there was going to be an Ethereum ETF, and now it looks like we're going to be getting like a bundle of them. I don't know the exact number. I want to say between 7 and 9, but I believe every company who applied for a Bitcoin ETF has received one, though we still not have seen the actual launch of them on a stock exchange. Ethereum works in a very peculiar way compared to Bitcoin in that Bitcoin has a maximum supply of 21 million. Ethereum doesn't have a maximum supply. However, it does have a coin burn. And because it is every time that there's a transaction on the network, coins for Ether get burned. And because it is the most used blockchain, the more the network gets used, the more coins get burned. Got it? However, the burn is actually outpacing the actual creation of Ether, therefore making Ether deflationary. So we're roughly around 120 million coins, give or take, somewhere around there. The only way to create new Ether is by having Ether and then staking it into the network, literally locking it inside of it. We had news a couple of days ago, somewhere around there, that the amount of Ether since I believe 3 weeks ago that's locked into the network to actually mine the coin. So like you can mine Ether yourself by simply having Ether. You don't have to have the gigantic machines and all the warehouses and rah. You can do it by yourself. Fantastic, right? So something weird has been happening. I don't know if you're going to notice, where we've seen that the amount of Bitcoin on exchanges continues to dwindle. A very, very low amount of Bitcoin. We're seeing huge amounts of whale buying pressure every single day. So we hear, for instance, that there was like an outflow from the ETFs for like $80 million. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. And then that same exact day, we get news, the same exact day, that whales purchased $500 million worth of Bitcoin. That doesn't register to people, but the sadness does, which is always just absolutely fantastic that people are never paying attention to the actual good news. We have numbers now. Since the announcement of the Ethereum ETFs within the US of A, something peculiar or not so peculiar has been taking place. It just did that cutoff thing again. Not only is Ether being accumulated in mass, the amount of Ether being staked into the network is also at one of its highest levels ever because more people keep buying it. And the only way to make it is to put it into the network. A lot of people also don't know that in order to run a number of other protocols, you also have to lock your Ether into the actual system itself. As we allegedly gear up for the launch of Ethereum ETFs, there's, guess what I'm gonna say? You guessed it. There's not a lot of Ether left. Can you guess how much Ether is left? It's almost single digit. Can you guess the number? Out of all the Ethereum that there is currently existing on the planet from the actual system, 10% of it is currently available on cryptocurrency exchanges. The current supply of Ether on crypto exchanges has not been this low since the coin was created. I'm going to say that one more time in a different way. The amount of Ethereum left on exchanges is only 1 out of every 10 coins. Problem, the issue is that the coins on crypto exchanges aren't all liquid. They're not all tradable. Remember, we've gone over that before about Bitcoin. We heard about a month ago that apparently there's around 900,000 Bitcoin left, like up for grabs. Only 900K. And people go, well, there's 900K, and it's like, well, the issue is that I'm sure some of you have Bitcoin, your friends, your family members, your colleagues, and you may have it on crypto exchanges. Do you plan on selling that Bitcoin right now? Do you plan on selling that Bitcoin when it goes to 100K? Probably not, because we're talking about Bitcoin going to 200, 300, $500,000. People have done like surveys and stuff online. The vast majority of Bitcoin holders have no intention of selling their coins under $1 million. And then even then, when it hits 1 million, they plan on just like spending fractions of it because they won't have to relinquish the entirety of their holdings. If there's only 1 out of every 10 Ether left on the exchanges, how much of that Ether is liquid? The answer is not a lot, because people are also holding on to their Ether as well. Why? Because people are anticipating an $8,000 Ether, a $12,000 Ether. We're getting rumors of an $18,000 to $20,000 Ethereum next year. Why? Because of the accumulation patterns that we saw for the Bitcoin ETFs. Surprise! Remember that? Yeah, Bitcoin's price like doubled, tripled, quadrupled over the course of a year and some change because we got the news that the ETFs were going to happen, and we saw a lot of the buying. So a lot of the buying that we're seeing right now, even with prices being in complete disarray, is absolutely fantastic because whales are still buying huge amounts of Ether every single day, even while prices are dropping. So we've gotten to the point where when these things launch, we are going to see even more Ether leave the exchanges. But what's the issue there? Realistically, only about 30 to maybe 40% of those coins on exchanges is actually liquid, going to be moved or going to be traded. So what happens when there already is not enough Ether to go around for the ETFs? Because they also they do like a seeding thing as well. So they buy up Ether and then they push it into the ETF so that it has like some extra liquidity. The problem also is if we get 20% of the volume that we saw for the Bitcoin ETFs, we're going to run out of Ether. What a lot of people don't know, and it constantly surprises me, and it's one of the sadnesses of my existence, is that a lot of people who get into this space are constantly I don't want to say the term led astray, but it's basically led astray by a bunch of new crappy coins that keep popping onto the market. And all I see online is, I just bought Floopadoop coin. Isn't it amazing? Oh, it got rug pulled. I just bought this crap on Solana. Isn't it? Oh, that also got rug pulled as well. As opposed to realizing if you are new here, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, do me a favor and use your smartphone, because I know you have one, and Google or use your local search engine and look for the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance. It is a consortium of around 300 different companies and banks from around the world who back in 2017, 2018 threw their weight behind Ethereum and said that they're going to build on top of it, are currently building, or have extra plans in the future to do something with Ethereum, the network, and also with Ether, the coin. Institutions have been here for a while. Do you understand what it means over the course of 3 months for Ether's price to have dropped, gone down, and now there's only 1 out of every 10 Ether? That's all that's left for grabs. That's it. That's it. Nothing left. Time is a fascinating thing, because if we're expecting absolute madness in the markets in 2025, you all with me, right? Like, oh my God, look at the prices going up, like that kind of thing. You know that 2029 is also going to be like a thing, right? Like time keeps going forward, so we have to at some point hit that time. And then you think about, well, what's Ethereum's price in 2033? If there's nothing left now, there's nothing left in the future. Rich people are buying and hoarding all the assets, and they have no plans to relinquish any of them, especially Ether. Because when you stake your Ether, when you lock your Ether in the network, you make passive income. So imagine these people who are daily buying tens of thousands of Ether and locking them into the network to stake their coins. They're making passive income forever. They have no incentive to ever sell their coins. So, just thought I'd throw that out there. This is recent analysis from the company called Glassnode. For those of you who want to read and or peruse through the article, it will be in the description below. I hope you're all ready for this. Like, I sincerely hope that everyone's ready for what's coming, simply because, as I've said in other videos, I think that rich people have done a tremendously fantastic job in making sure that the general public didn't pay attention to crypto, hasn't bought any crypto, and haven't paid attention to any of these things. None of you saw or heard this news in your local news, right? No. The second largest and most used cryptocurrency on the planet has been drained. They've taken 90% of all the Ether off of crypto exchanges while everyone else didn't pay attention. This is what really makes me super believe in the idea of a 20,000 plus Ether either this year or next year, because there's literally nothing left. So yeah, this is awkward. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. Hope you've all been paying attention to all the news, the constant cascade of news that we've been getting for the last like 8 years or something. I don't know who's counting. I hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day. Morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever the heck you might be. I do hope it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, paying attentioning, and supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.